Okay, alright, a little bit better. So, yeah, what to do next? Well, I was thinking that really it would be nice to make a central feature. And it's one we've actually already put down, but I'm going to put it here as well. And that is obviously, yeah, Stonehenge. So because it acts as a church, I think it's probably going to be nicer to have something like a unique building for them to worship at. So, yeah, we just sort of really need to work out where that's going to go and centre that up. So if we go into Redketchup's menus and bring that up, we'll spin. Just deciding which way it's going to go. Maybe that way. Yeah. Well, let's see how long it is. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so it's 12 by 12. How much space have we got? Spin this around. And we're going to give this road a double as well. We could be generous, couldn't we? Let's have a play and see. What does that leave? That leaves 30. So 30, take off 12, 18, so it's 9 on each side there. And, yeah. Let's see. So it should be 1 on either side of the trading post if it's going to be exactly level to this anchor point. So, well, yeah, let's see if we can get this lined up. And again, which way do I want it? I'm just thinking we're probably going to be looking at this settlement from this viewpoint. So, yeah, I'm thinking like that. Okay. So let's get this lined up with the trading post. Right, so that's right. Okay. Let's try and do this. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's throw it in and let's bring it on pause for a second. Let's just check our measurements. Yeah, 9 and 9, and I should just go past. It should, yeah. Okay, so that's perfectly lined up there. Let's what we're going to do? Let's throw a road all the way around it. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw another road around that. Come on, autosave. So it's like a double, but then I'm going to remove the inner road, just because it has a green texture on the base of this model, and some of the stones come quite close to the edge of the model. So yeah, just to let it have a little bit more green around it. We can always throw in a fence or something. So yeah, that's in. Other buildings for the fountain mod. We've got the inventor's workshop. So we've got to put. I think it technically only allows you to put 3 of these in, but I'm not sure. Maybe 4. Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking sort of wang them in these corners. So yeah, we'll throw one there, one down here, spin it around. Do the same on this side. Yeah, so it's disappeared. So yeah, it must only allow you to have sort of, I don't know how many really. So we've put 4 down, but I put 3 down and it disappeared by then as well. So you might have to place them all at the same time if you want more than 3. But again, I haven't really played about with it too much. I've just noted that at one point I wasn't able to place a 4th. So I had to sort of pause it and do them all at the same time, and it let me. So just something to watch out for. Well, we've got those in, so we can use those to guide us with a bit more road. So let's put a bit down there. Now the way these work, these Inventors Workshop, is they require, well, they can make paper, they can make ink, or they can make blueprints. And to make blueprints, you need paper and ink. So we're going to have to need at least one for ink, one for paper, and one for the blueprints. But the blueprints only have a 5% chance of being made. So initially, it's probably a good idea to have them 2 doing paper, 2 doing ink, get a large amount of each, and then we can sort of turn one over to try and make some blueprints. So yeah. Now they need water, like water and wood for paper, and water and something else for ink. So they get the water from the fountains, which are another part of the fountain mod. So we're going to take the small circular ones like we did on the Great Road, and we're going to put these in between, I think. So yeah, and I want to make sure that the water is all going in the same direction. So they'll just fit in. Now the reason I've chosen to use the circular ones is because they sort of just touch, but there's a little bit of room in between them, whereas with the square ones, they sort of overlap and they don't look as good. So yeah, I'm going to stick with the rounded shape. You'll sort of understand when when I put them in. I'll make sure I definitely put the circular one in there. I don't want it building the wrong one. Okay. And obviously we can, with these fountain mods, you can actually, for a lot of their models, you can't do them all the way through the fountains, but yeah, you can get a lot of coverage underneath them with your road tool. So yeah, I think that's all done there. And we'll do the same on the other side. So I think, yeah, in this episode, really, I'm probably just going to try and get the fountain, sorry, the foundations all done for this village, and then yeah, you can join me again in the next episode where hopefully I'll have allowed it to roll on and get done. Like I said, we've got loads of people at the moment, so we're not struggling there. Let's run this all the way up. Let's give this a 3 wide, so match this one. Let's do the same on the other side. Okay. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's still a little settlement, so you've still got to be wary of what you sort of put close to the houses. So I mean, we've got a church that's going to be built here, so that's not an issue. Food, we can do some more markets, and yeah, obviously we get the mechanised furnace, which knocks out coal. So we should put some blacksmiths in as well. But I don't really want the level, because all these houses are sort of quite single story, and yeah, and these are quite imposing buildings. I want these to be the sort of focus of the little community. So I don't want any sort of tall buildings. So I'm going to stick with the sort of low end models, but with it being sort of a inventors community, sort of hippies and stuff like that, free thinkers, we'll use the Redketchup's mods for tailors and blacksmiths, and because the blacksmith, they can make steel carbon tools, so or carbon steel tools. So yeah, we should put these in. Where do I want them? That's the only thing. I'll leave maybe 2 spaces there, maybe 3. In fact, if I throw that in, and we're generous at the front here and give that a double, we might have to take that back, but for now, let's put it in. Yeah. Let's throw in a house for this guy. And let's do the same on this side. Now, because we've got basically one less in length from this section than this section, so it's going to be a little bit different. But I don't want it looking too uniform. It's pretty uniform already, but I just want a little bit of differentiation in the centre, so this sort of square of the town. So yeah, let's throw that on. Let's have a look at the markets now. And we've got these fountain mob markets that we played about with, but I didn't really sort of get to the grips with them. So I think we're going to do that now. Now we've got a 2x1 stand which sells in one direction. So you'd have these on the front here, for example. But we want them to be able to sell from both sides, I think, and you can get a two-sided stand. So they look quite nice as well. They have little signs on them, so put one there, and just check the models to see what we've got. Let's use that sort of cloth roof. Let's go back to sort of egg design. Looks like they've got a load of eggs on there, doesn't it? And then let's give them... Yeah, what else we have? We've got corner pieces. We're going to use them just yet. We've got the sort of central stands, so they have a larger amount they can store. So let's leave a space in between, and let me spin that around. Yeah, let's put a couple here in the centre, and then we'll go back to our. Do we want to use two-sided or one-sided? Let's use one-sided because we haven't really used these in this section just yet. So let's leave one space. Throw that down. What else have we got? Yeah. Okay. So as we saw before, we can allocate different types of traders to these once they're built. So we'll go into that in more detail once that's done. A bit of space here, so let's give that double. Let's give that one a double. And are we doing this a double? Not sure yet. Let's run that down here. Let's run that down here. Now instead of doing a similar design there, we'll use the same market stalls, but we'll where are they? Just do a different design. So we'll use these corner pieces, I think. So let's just do it as they come out. Yeah, so we've got 4 corner pieces. We'll use the single-sided piece, and we'll keep this sort of enclosed, as opposed to this one where you can actually buy stuff on the side. Oh, actually saying that, let's keep it enclosed on this side. Let's give it one that you can buy stuff from the main thoroughfare here as well. And yeah, because if we look at where we are in terms of on the map, we're sort of quite away from a water source, so we could probably fit a little well in there as well. So let's throw one of those in. I'll have it in that way, I think. And is that central? Don't think we're going to be able to get it central, are we? Let's hold on. Let's get rid of that. Let's try that again. Yeah, it's not going to line up central. How many pieces we've got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, because we've got an even number, so we can't get it bang central. But yeah, it needs to go in there anyway, so I'm going to put it in. Okay, we could put 2. Could we put 2 in? Is that going to look daft? I don't know. We'll see. We'll put one in first. I'm prevaricating. So yeah, we'll let that build, and then we'll come back to it and have a look. And again, yeah, these market stalls are one of the buildings where you can just underlay with roads. So we're going to get a nice effect out of that. So let's do that here. I know it's looking quite sandy, but it's sort of the look I'm wanting to go for here with this particular community. So, okay, right. So, what are we going to do now? Let's run a road along the back of this building, and let's do the same here. Let's put some of the mechanized furnaces in. Okay, so there's a little gap between those two. We'll probably have a double gap between these, won't we? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Taking shape. Let's run a bit of road along the back. We'll throw in some stockpiles. Because the blacksmith's probably going to need access to a stockpile. We'll put a single on this side, double over here. Now, for these spaces at the side, because other than the market stalls and the trading posts, at the moment we don't have anything to bring resources up to this area. So if we go into our market tab, we have a wood market cart, a stone and an iron market cart as well. So yeah, wood and iron, I think they look really good as well. Nice little models. So yeah, let's throw a iron cart on either side and a wood one. That's stone. We don't want stone just yet. And wood. Just make sure they're facing the right way. So yeah, at least we've got iron and logs coming here for them to make iron tools, and yeah, we'll get the coal from the back from these buildings, and probably imported as well at the same time. Now we'll give a wood and an iron here as well on the left, and I think we'll keep this single space for a stone just to get some of that coming up to the area. Okay, things are taking shape. So let's think about what else we're going to need. Well, we're going to need schools, aren't we? Because we've got quite a lot of housing here. So yeah, I think we'll stick with the Japanese schools. And again, it's finding sort of space for them really, so sort of quite like them to be sort of fairly central. But I also sort of want them to line up as well, so yeah, don't really fit there with that double road. So let's trim that back a bit. So yeah, I'll be able to run that road around the back there, and if we push that in a bit, that will go in there, and then yeah, where am I looking? Sand. I'm going to get our straight pieces going all the way down then. Just put another one there. So that's going to be a 4 wide. So it's slightly off, but it's all pretty central. It's good enough for me. Now, what else do we want? We want a tailor. So again, let's use Redketchups, and again, you get the benefit of the extra house as well. So plus they can build, they can create some nice clothes as well. So yeah, I think sticking with the same theme, keep it central. Let's throw that down. Let's get the house above it, and yeah, we've probably got some room for some more carts if we want or need them. So I'm just going to hang fire for now. Am I going to hang fire? We've got stone coming in down there, and iron and wood. No, I think just to keep with the theme. No, I'll leave it for now. And I'll see. I'll come back to it and make a decision. Now we have got another model that I think would fit quite nicely in this sort of community that we're doing, and that model is somewhere hidden. It's not actually hidden, it's just that I can never find it. I've just got to remember where it is. Oh, in fact, I think I do know. It's tucked over here somewhere. Here it is. The greenhouse. Yeah. So, as it says, a greenhouse is used to plant seeds and generate seedlings. So, yeah, I think it's just like the water tower. You know, it just adds an extra sort of food source. So, yeah, it's a bit of a basic building, but you can sort of imagine these guys messing about with plants and stuff like that. So yeah, just messing with strains and stuff. So I think we're going to throw this in, so it'll fit quite centrally as well. So let's bang that down there. Storage. Now, as I said, we've got a little stockpile. We've got this storage barn, but it's not proper storage for store anything type stuff. So I think we should put some on the sides. Again, sticking with RK's models. What will fit? Yeah, so the big one, that's going to fit. Now I'm going to orientate it so that this sort of slopes downwards on each side, and that's the beauty of these. If you have a look, they're sort of the same on each side, so you can sort of put them any way you want, really, in whichever direction pointing. So yeah, let's just throw one in there, spin it around. Let's throw another one here. We'll give them a little bit of road. On the front of each. And yeah, these side strips. I was thinking we could possibly get some crop fields down here. So, sticking with the storage theme, I always like to shoehorn in the dry storage anywhere I can, because it's, as I say, it's one of my favourite buildings, and I think it would look quite nice, sort of centralised behind these fountains, sort of a focal point, really. So, yeah, we're going to put one of these on each side. Control the camera a bit better. Yeah, douche. Okay, so they're in. Let's mark out what we're doing with some road. Okay. Right, so it leaves us a bit of space behind these buildings, doesn't it? So let's put some crop fields down. So one there, and we'll do the same in terms of its length, which I think this one is, yeah, 5 by 12, just to sneak it behind this building. Ooh, 5 by 11. Let's get rid of that. Extend this road a bit, because we gave it a double, didn't we? And we'll put that field back in. Sorry about the lack of soundtrack on this. It's all gone a bit quiet, hasn't it? No background music. I think it's because it's paused for so long. But, yeah, let's do the same over here. Remembering it should be 511. Yeah, there we go. We'll fill this gap in here. So it just leaves a little bit of space either side. So depending on what we're going to plant, I think we should have some herbs up here, just to get some up this side of the map as well. And you can imagine it's the type of thing that they would grow here, and hemp as well, because they're going to want to get inspiration from somewhere. So let's throw a curing barn down. Fits quite nicely in that gap, surprisingly enough. Now over here they have a distillery for the fountain mod, and yeah, you can make some unique stuff from this. Now I can't remember whether we sort of messed about with it when we were doing our distilleries over here or not, but it's a different size to the standard distillery. I don't think it's as chunky, so that's probably why we didn't use it, because we were using 2 and we wanted them to be the same. So, but I want to get it in here because it's one of the fountain mod buildings and I'm trying to utilise and sort of showcase as many as possible. So yeah, let's throw it in. So that's in. So the only real buildings we're not using are sort of the houses, really. but we've sort of already used those, the medium stone houses and the little yellow straw houses, these types. So yeah, I still want it to look good, and that's why we've used a sort of a mixture of models. So yeah, this episode's probably been running on quite a while, but I just wanted to get the sort of footprint in so that once we finished, you know, you could see it having been completed at the start of the next episode. But yeah, I don't think we're going to have time. I think I'm going to end it here now. We've got a couple of sections here to still finish off. I will probably tinker about with those sections at the start of the next video once everything else has been built. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing what it's going to look like, then I'll see you then.